I'm so excited to share with you all today 3 life lessons from a Southern mama. First, you need to picture my mama coming in at a fighting weight of 92 pounds. She was nonetheless a powerhouse who towered at a height of 5 foot nothing. She held her head up high and her cigarette up even higher. She was part Cherokee Indian, sassy, smart, funny, tender, difficult. She pulled no punches. Despite being a high school dropout, she was a self-educated woman who often asked the following existential question: "Well, Retta, who gives a rat's behind anyway?" Except she did not say behind. Did I mention she was fierce? She was fierce before that word became so overused, like it is now. I'd like to give you a little background on her so that the incident I'm going to tell you about a little later will have more meaning. She started life in a shack without electricity or running water. As a little girl, she was abandoned by her mother. At the age of 16, she gave birth to my half-sister. And due to the shame of having a baby out of wedlock, and this is a historical note I'm presenting as a public service to the millennials in attendance. Yes, this was a taboo at one time to have a baby out of wedlock. Because of this, she was ostracized and turned away by everyone. She actually had to live in the woods with her newborn for several days without a cent or any way to get one. I think of her often around that time of year. Think about the winter nights, those few winter nights, and what that must have been like for her with her baby in the woods. 3 years later, she meets my father, a handsome older Yankee jazz musician and the new band teacher for the county. She meets him in the moonshine stand she is operating at the age of 19. Their eyes locked over a transaction of 4 Roses bourbon. He called her his Princess Brown Eyes, his Cherokee Rose, a rose described in the books as wild, aggressive, and thorny, just like Mama. They get married. She endures at least 5 miscarriages before I come along, including pregnancies that went late term. When she finds out she's pregnant with me, she goes to the abortionist. But even the abortionist turned her away, saying, "Can't take this baby. This baby's life has purpose." Unknown to my parents, RH factor issues were causing the miscarriages. So I was born, and the doctors told her it is hopeless. You could say I was born a hopeless cause, but y'all, Mama knew better. Lesson number 1 from a Southern mama: there is no such thing as a hopeless cause. Mama was troubled, and she had troubles, most of them related to drinking. She was broke and broken for the first 40 years of her life, yet she was always a supreme encourager and giver. Like most of us, she was a glorious mess of contradictions. Don't you love that? Beauty amid the wreckage. And by the way, she stopped drinking in her 50s. No lost causes. Why is it that no causes is hopeless? Because of an astonishing fact that has been so hard for me to get my head around that only in the last few years could I even entertain the notion that this could be possible. It seems so outrageous as to be improbable, impossible, and downright delusional. The fact is, nothing is hopeless because each of us is already hardwired for victory, designed for restoration, born to conquer. It's already inside us. We are actually pre-engineered for triumph. But This applies if and only if we recognize lesson number 2. Your pain has purpose. Your pain or your painful past does not define you or condemn you. It prepares you. If you take the bad and do something good with it, you can and will overcome anything. That, in fact, is your mojo, your treasure, your gift, your gold. It doesn't mean that it erases the sorrows or deletes what happened, but it transforms you in a wonderful way. Marvel at your scars because they are your greatest beauty marks. Above all, do not let your pain be in vain. Don't squander what it has to teach you. That is why it is there. Mama certainly didn't. Instead of dwelling on what she was denied, she lifted the lives of countless strangers with her generosity. She gave huge fat tips to everyone you are and are not supposed to tip. She tipped the cook, the janitor, the nursing home worker, the ditch digger, tried to tip the inmates on the prison work detail. She even tipped a munchkin from the Wizard of Oz, people. Now for the real story. It's important to know that when the incident happened, Mama was already quite ill with COPD, and she was dependent on oxygen at this point 24/7. She's at the grocery store. The gentleman ahead of her in line doesn't have enough money for the food he needs. He leaves the store embarrassed, frustrated, and empty-handed. Seeing he's at wit's end, she waits until he gets in his car and then pays for his groceries. Noticing the kind of food he needs, she goes and fills up her cart with additional goods for his family. She understands his desperation and knows what to do. Put love into action. With more than $200 worth of food in her car, she goes to the man's house. Rolling her oxygen tank behind her, she knocks and knocks and knocks, and finally, the man cracks open the door just wide enough to see who was on his stoop. "What you want? Whatever it is, I can't pay for it. I've been out of work for over a year. Go away." "Sir, I don't want a thing other than to tell you I have a car full of groceries for you." "Yeah, right, lady. This must be some kind of scam." His wife comes to the door. "Ma'am, I'm trying to explain to your husband that I have a gift for your family in my car. I'm not physically able to get the groceries out, but y'all are welcome to go and get them, and I'll be out of your way." The woman sizes her up, and she's very skeptical. She's suspicious because around this same time, a scam had been running in which the crooks, this is true, y'all, the bad guys dispatched what were described in the local newspaper as pitiful-looking people to go door to door to solicit bogus charitable donations. The wife says, "Wait a minute, I just don't understand what you're telling us. People don't do this for folks these days. What's the catch?" Mama had the perfect answer. "There is no catch, honey. Let's just say God sent me." Now, when Mama told me this story, she winked really big at the God part, because let's just say she had no use whatsoever for religion, but figured that message would work with that demographic. But this isn't the end of it. Mama returns to the grocery store, talks with the manager, and gets a full-time job for the man. Returning to his home, she tells him the good news and instructs him to report to work the next morning. The man covered his face and wept. His wife and children joined him on the stoop as Mama shuffled back to her car. They never even knew her name. Now it's time for the third and final lesson. This one is best illustrated by a phone conversation I had with her. Ring, 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 ring. "Hey, Mama, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm okay, I guess." "What's wrong? You don't sound right." "Well, guess I'm a little down because my girlfriend stabbed and killed her boyfriend last night. Oh my gosh, Mama, I am so sorry to hear that. Oh, yes, she is the sweetest thing. We used to go fishing together. Okay, this is really messed up, but again, I'm sorry. Y'all, then her tone changed completely. Mama, what's up? Wait now, what's up? What are you dreaming up now? She said, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find out where they're holding her, and I'm gonna go take her a carton of cigarettes. Sure am. Lesson number 3, y'all. Give without judgment, give without question. The last years and months of her life were intense and rough. She couldn't get out anymore. This was significant because she had been a master gardener and loved to play in the dirt more than anything. She said, Retta, I haven't felt the grass under my feet in over 2 years now. Good thing she had planted many, many seeds. On her last good day on this earth, she had one final directive. Retta, get out my checkbook. My monthly donation to St. Jude's is due. She was too weak to write the check, so I handled it. I wrote the $12 check made payable to St. Jude. You all do know who St. Jude is, right? He's the patron saint of what? Got it. Hopeless causes and desperate cases. So in closing, I hope you will remember and act on these 3 lessons from a Southern mama. Number 1, when faced with a problem that seems dire and hopeless, don't you dare believe it, no matter how it looks on the outside or what the world says. There are no dead ends. Do you hear me? There are no dead ends. Number 2, let your pain prepare you and in fact prop you up, become your unique platform for greater purpose and service. Don't turn away from it. Charge at it, run into the center of it and emerge better. Put blue paint on your face and run in naked like Braveheart. Or maybe not, okay. After all, if you do not transform your pain, you will continue to transmit it. Hopefully everybody here knows that you're transmitting your pain when you have not truly, truly gone into the heart of darkness and emerged on the side of the light. Isn't it something, isn't it extraordinary, remarkable that the very thing that could destroy you is in fact your saving grace? Amazing. Lesson number 3, give with love and leave judgment out of it. Don't ask. Give outlandishly, feverishly, inappropriately. Look for the people in the margins. Seek them out like Mama did. Go to the edges and do your work with joy. Don't worry about who is worthy and who isn't, because at a certain level, everyone is worthy and kindness is never wasted. I will end with a quote from Tennessee Williams. The world is violent and mercurial. It will have its way with you. We are saved only by love, love for each other and the love that we pour into the art we feel compelled to share. Being a parent, being a writer, being a painter, being a friend. We live in a perpetually burning building. And what we must say from it all the time is love. All I ask now is that you please go forth and make your mama proud. Thank you.